Good afternoon, everyone. I am Joanna Mary Cerbera and I will try to solve the Einstein logic puzzle. So, Albert Einstein once posed a brain teaser that he predicted only 2% of the world's population would be able to solve. So the facts are there are 5 houses in 5 different colors. In each house lives a person with a different nationality. These 5 owners drink a certain beverage, smoke a certain brand of cigarette, and keep a certain pet. No owners have the same pet, brand of cigarette, or drink. So the logic puzzle. The Brit lives in a red house. The Swede keeps a dog. The Dane drinks tea. The greenhouse is on the left of the white one. The greenhouse owner drinks coffee. The person who smokes palm oil keeps bird. The owner of the yellow house smokes Dunhill. The man living in the center house drinks milk. The Norwegian lives in the first house. The man who smokes blends lives direct next to the one with cats. The man with horses lives direct next to the man who smokes Dunhill. The man who smokes Blue Master drinks beer. The German smokes Prince. The Norwegian lives next to the blue house. The man who smokes blends has a direct neighbors who drinks water. So the question is, who owns the fish? So let us solve this puzzle. So now I will solve the Einstein riddles. So here are the clues. The possible nationalities are Norwegian, Brit, Swede, Dane, and German. The possible colors are red, green, white, yellow, and blue. The possible beverages are tea, coffee, milk, beer, and water. The possible cigars are Pall Mall, Dunhill, Blends, Blue Master, and Prince. And the possible pets are dogs, birds, cats, horses, and fish. So in the first column of the table, here are houses, colors, nationality, beverages, cigars, and pets. So we know that houses are there are 5 houses. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. In Einstein riddle, it is stated that Norwegian is in the first house. Since the Brit lives in the red house, the Norwegian can't. We also know the Norwegian lives to the next blue house. So blue will be here. So his house is not blue. We also know that the greenhouse is to the left of the white house. The Norwegian can't live in the white house since there is no house to the left, and can't live in the greenhouse because he's only neighbor. The one to the right is known to live in the blue house. Therefore, the Norwegian lives in the yellow house. We also know the owner of the yellow house smokes Dunhill. So Dunhill will be placed here. And that the Norwegian has a neighbor with a blue house. The man who keeps horses lives next to the man who smokes Dunhill. So next to the man who smokes Dunhill, it is Norwegian. So the horses will be placed here. The center house owner drinks milk. So the center is the house number 3. So the milk will be placed here. The greenhouses owners drink coffee, and the greenhouse is to the left of the white house. Since we know the left 2 houses are the yellow and blue houses, the only position for the green and white are green as the 4th and white as the 5th. So green and white. Since the middle drinks milk, coffee, and the owner of the greenhouse drink milk rather, and the owner of the greenhouse drinks coffee, the middle house has to be red, and therefore is the Brits. So Brits will be placed here. The owner who smokes Blue Master drinks beer. Since we know what number 3 house and 4 drink, and we know what house number 1 smokes, the only possibilities are the houses number 2 and 5. Keep this information in mind, since it is evident house number 1 cannot drink beer. The only possible beverages for house number 1 are water and tea. But since the Dane drinks the tea, house number 1 drinks water. So water will be placed here. The man who smokes lives next to someone who drinks water. So man who smokes blends lives next to someone who drinks water. The only house next to number 1 is number 2, so blends will be placed here. The man who smokes blends lives next to the one who has cat, so the cat house is number 1 or number 3. So we just write cat here temporarily. We know the beer drinker smokes Blue Master. The only houses that could drink beer are number 2 and number 5. But since we know that number 2 smokes blends, number 5 must be the house which drinks beer and smokes Blue Master. So we write beer here and cigars will be Blue Master. Number 2 has to be the house that drinks tea and the house of the den. So tea will be placed here and nationality is Dane. We can eliminate the possibility of the Dane's residence being house number 5. We know the German smokes Prince, therefore he could not live at house number 5 and therefore has to live at house number 4. So I will write Prince here. The Swede must live at house number 5. We also know house number 5 raises dogs. Since we know the Swede raises dogs, so dogs will be placed here. And that house number 4 smokes Prince, since the German smokes Prince. So German will be placed here. And Swede will be placed here. The only possibly for house number 3's smokes is Pall Mall. All of the others are taken. So Pall Mall will be placed here. We know that whoever smokes Pall Mall raises birds. So house number 3 raises birds. And house number 1 therefore has cats. So cats will be owned by Norwegian and it will be erased here and placed by birds. So now, the only remaining pet is the fish, which must be owned by a German. We now know who owns the fish and have solved the puzzle. That's it and hope you understand. Thank you.